moving on to those and other stories in detail. We start off with your top local story tonight. The people of Gampaha district have decisively endorsed Ranil Wickremesinghe for re-election as president in the upcoming presidential election. Representing the people of Gampaha district, Minister Prasanna Ranatunga proposed that President Wickremesinghe should stand as the presidential candidate in the upcoming election.
The proposal received unanimous approval. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said on this occasion that proper response will be given at the correct time when an invitation was extended for candidature for presidency. The president also said that the International Monetary Fund is scheduled to declare the official statement pertaining to Sri Lanka coming out of bankruptcy within the next few days. The meeting was held at the Kadavada bus stand premises and it was organised by Minister Prasanna Ranatunga, including 29 ministers and MPs, out of which 28 belonging to the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna were present. The meeting was also attended by 380 former Pradesh Sabha members and 12 former chairmen of the Sabhas of the Gampaha district. Member of Parliament Sahan Pradeep Vidhana said that Ranil Wickremesinghe is the president who took charge during a crucial time and played a pivotal role in stabilizing the country, demonstrating that any challenge can be overcome through unity. He said that he firmly believed that today's public rally marks a turning point for President Ranil Wickremesinghe. State Minister of Plantation Industries and Mahabedi Development Lohan Ratpath said that Anura Kumara Dissanayake came to Kandy and asked where Lohan was. To that he said that he would like to say that if you are afraid of devils, you don't build houses in the graveyard. Everyone knows what the Janata Pirmukti Peramuna did to Sri Lanka during 1988 and 89. He also urged and said he would like to remind the JVP not to be misled the young and innocent children who supported JVP today. He added that if they love the country, the most suitable candidate is President Ranil Wickremesinghe. Minister of Health and Industries Dr. Ramesh Patirala said that just as President Mahinda Rajapaksa provided relief to those affected by war and President Gotabaya Rajapaksa supported those impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, President Ranil Wickremesinghe offered relief to those suffering from the economic crisis. Today, the country's financial system is stable. Bank interest rates are decreasing systematically. Senior advisor to the President on Climate Change, Ruwan Vijayawardena, said that at a time when the country faced fuel and gas shortages and endured 14-hour power cuts, no leader stepped forward to take responsibility except President Ranil Wickremesinghe. He added the economic crisis effectively even as political opponents, unable to handle the situation, resort to spearheading propaganda in their pursuits of power. At the request of former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, Ranil Wickremesinghe first took on the role of Prime Minister and then became President, ensuring the provision of adequate fuel and gas to the people. He also implemented an economic strategy to generate sufficient foreign exchange for the country, accumulating over $5.5 billion in the treasury. The government now has enough foreign exchange to provide basic facilities to the citizens.
Member of Parliament Mahindanand Alutgamage said that this is the third major rally in the Equijagama series. The first rally took place in Matara, the second in Kandy, and today they hold the third rally in Gampaha. He added that they stand there today because President Ranil Wickremesinghe has worked to create a country where people can thrive. President Wickremesinghe committed to freeing the people from oppression without any conditions. Supported by the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, his only condition was to build the country and ensure better environment for its citizens. This is why they have united to support him wholeheartedly. In the future, a larger platform will be created for them, featuring representatives from more diverse political backgrounds. The parliamentarian further said that they have faith in the success of the president, and the president has demonstrated over the past 2 years. Minister of Tourism, Land, Sports and Youth Affairs Harim Fernando said that some claim that President Ranil Wickremesinghe is a member of the UNP, others say he belongs to the SRPP or even the SJB. However, it must be clarified that President Ranil Wickremesinghe is not affiliated with any of these parties. He stands with the people of this country and has no party allegiance. elections. The minister added that they should advise all party members to avoid experimenting with leadership at this critical time. The president has worked hard to bring the country to its current state, and there is not the moment for further experimentation. The upcoming presidential election is not just about party leaders winning. It will determine the future of the children and the country. The Gampaha district plays a crucial role in this election. Let all unite and move forward together.
Minister of Urban Development and Housing and Chief Government Organizer Prasanna Ranatunga said today that it has been 2 years since President Wickremesinghe took office. At the time, the residents of Colombo flats and the entire country were facing severe hardships with shortages of fuel, gas and medicine threatening their basic right to live. The minister said that he urged all to decide within the next week to run into the upcoming presidential election. He also proposed that President Ranil Wickremesinghe should be their candidate. The support of the people at today's meeting confirmed this fact, and he said that there is no turning back now. They must run in this year's presidential election. People from all parts of the country, including those from Gampaha district, are committed to securing the president's victory. Addressing the public rally, President Ranil Wickremesinghe further stated that at point he had no official residence at the presidential palace were occupied by protesters. His house was set on fire and the presidential secretariat was also occupied. In response, he proposed that the Prime Minister that they share the Prime Minister's office. He would use the ground floor and he would use the upper floor with sacred access to the conference room. For the next 2 to 3 weeks, they continued government operation from the arrangements were negotiating with the International Monetary Fund. At the time, he was the sole member of parliament from the party. To address the situation, he assembled a team with various ministers and MPs from different parties. President said that he first sought support from the Samagi Janabala Vega, assuming they were aligned with the United National Party, and however they did not support him and instead backed MP Dalasalaha Peruma. Then he approached the JVP, but they chose to endorse MP Anurukumar Disanayake separately and were reluctant to assume responsibility, making it challenging to gain their support. Despite these challenges, their president said that they preserved today that they have successfully completed the debt restructuring program and it will be officially announced in the coming days. At the same time, they have received funds back for the projects that they have supported and all restrictions have been removed. Additionally, work on the Central Expressway is being restarted. Reflecting on the past, the president said that remember when the time there was a severe shortage of fuel, electricity and fertilizer. Hospitals and schools were closed and queues were forming on Kandy Road in other parts of the country. They must ensure that such a crisis does not recur and together to move forward. Today, he said that the country has sufficient fuel and medicine and they have introduced an agricultural modernization program in the villages. He said that the future of the country cannot be determined solely by political agendas. He will not allow that. Politics should align with the country's needs, otherwise the country has no future. They must advance a proud nation, making meaningful changes rather than issuing false promises.
Bangladesh Supreme Court has scaled back a controversial job quota system after nationwide unrest over the past week. Accordingly, the Supreme Court directed that 93% of government jobs should be open on merit. 114 people were killed during demonstrations last week. Scrapped in 2018 by Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's government, the quota system was reinstated by a lower court last month, sparking huge protests. Students have been demanding an end to a controversial system that reserved 30% of government jobs for descendants of veterans who fought in Bangladesh's War of Independence in 1971. They demanded that the quota favours allies of the governing Awami League party, which led the independence movement against Pakistan. The Supreme Court ordered that the quota for veterans' descendants be cut to 5%, with 93% of jobs to be allocated on merit. The remaining 2% will be set aside for members of ethnic minorities, transgender and disabled people. Today's verdict comes after weeks of demonstrations that turned deadly on last Tuesday after groups linked to the Awami League attacked protesters. The government responded with a harsh crackdown, including a curfew and a communications blackout. Campaigners have accused the police of using unlawful force against protesters. Student groups responsible for organizing the protests have welcomed the Supreme Court's decision, but decided to press on with demonstrations until their key demands are met, including the release of those jailed and resignations of the officials responsible for the violence.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe states that if funds had been allocated to the local government elections, the country would have faced a tragic situation instead of focusing on economic recovery. The president emphasizes that there were several critical areas that needed funding priority over the elections. President Wickremesinghe made these remarks while attending a meeting with former heads of local government institutions held today in Sri Jayawardenepura. This meeting was organized in response to a request from local government representatives from across the island. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that if he had not acted in this way and held the election neglecting economic development, the country would be in a much worse state today. The president has also questioned if they had done that would have been possible to recover from the state of the country. And also, it has also been possible to allocate 3 times as much money to Aswesama to the Samurdi. The president has also pointed out the question whether it would have been possible to implement the Urume Free Dates program. He has stressed that if they had happened, they wouldn't have been able to do any of this. Somehow they have been able to overcome these challenges and bring the country's economy forward on a strong foundation. This is why people have money in their hands today, he said, freeing. On that day, a large number of people in the country announced that they would give their votes to the Janata Vimukti Peramuna. The president added that, but today, the situation has changed. They are not even found today. Another part declared that they would vote for Sajith Premadasa. Today, they are also silent. Due to the strong program we have launched, they have not been able to go among the people. They have not been able to face the program. The president further stated that they have no answers to the programs the government has created. In this way, this will act in the future to do justice to all the people. A good situation has been created for them to reach the people at the grassroots. Take the advantage of it and go among the people and speak the truth with them. Take steps to increase people's understanding of the bitter journey they have come through. The JVP and SJB have been organizing their activities for the presidential election for about 6 months now. They have been running for about a year. They need more life. Let us start the work on time. The president further said that he has no doubt they will win. Minister of Urban Development and Housing Prasanna Ranatunga said that president believes in maintaining the party's identity and moving forward with it. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa also valued the support of local government members. Recognizing the crucial role of local government councillors, President Wickremesinghe has also sought to meet with local government representatives to hear their views. The minister added that their support is essential for the president to secure victory in the upcoming elections as local government representatives. State Minister Janaka Kumbara said that they appointed President Wickremesinghe the support of the Sri Lanka Pudujana Peramuna because they believe the president's ability to lead the country democratically. Today, the president has created an environment where political activities can flourish. Member of Parliament Vajra Abeyawardena said that the presidential election is due before the 17th of October. As they prepare, there are concerns and questions they need to address. Some claim that the election may be postponed due to a lack of campaign slogans or suggest that the 22nd Amendment aims to delay the election.
Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa says an economy centred upon knowledge should have been formed in order to find solutions to the existing problems in the country. He made these remarks participating in a Sakvala program in Hiriyala yesterday. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa said that an outdated system of education prevails in the country today, which motivates memorizing lessons. He added that the country must strive to find an education system which provides solutions to problems. This is the time of finding answers to the issues of 22 million people. He has questioned as to what is the answer to the economic crisis. The people are trying to find solutions as they are enmeshed in unrest, pressure and huge concussion. Sajith Premadasa further said that when finding solutions to the problems, it is extremely important to focus attention on how the school education system is being currently implemented. The aim should be set up a knowledge-based economy. The SGB leader added that they are hoping to strengthen human capital aspects within the system.
And meanwhile, leader of the National People's Power, Anurakkumar Dissanayake, says his party is ready to face any upcoming elections. He has made these remarks participating in a public meeting in Japan. Leader of the National People's Power, Anurakkumar Dissanayake, said that the Election Commission has been entrusted with powers to convene the presidential election on the 17th of this month. He has expressed hope that the Election Commission would declare the dates of accepting nominations and the day of holding the election before the end of this month. The NPP leader further said that his party is prepared for any election and also pointed out that they were not in power. Their reason being previously there was no preparations on the part of the society to hand them over power. Anuruddha Kumar Dissanayake further said that they are requesting majority power in parliament in order to eliminate frauds, corruption and wastage.
Former Minister Mervyn Silva says Vijayadasa Rajapaksa would compete the upcoming presidential election under the motor car symbol. He was addressing media in Anuradhapura. Former Minister Mervyn Silva said that Sajith is a useless person who engages in unnecessary talks. He further said that Premadasa is also accused of misappropriating funds amounting to 3 million rupees using the money of the cultural fund. He was charged of partially constructing houses. People who took loans for these half-constructed houses are now in trouble. Mervyn Silva has questioned as to how such a person who is incapable of even maintaining a ministerial portfolio could become a president. Silva commenting on Unruh, saying he who joined Chandrika's government was unable to construct even one reservoir. He added that JVPers who had killed tens of thousands of people brought the peace in society into a graveyard. He further said Bimal Ratnayake is talking about legalizing prostitution and Lal Kranti is intending to bring the courts to villages. Mervyn Silva has also asked that who would vote for such people. He also pointed out on Anuruddha Kumar, who is enriched with millions of rupees and is now going around the world.
And meanwhile, former President Maithripala Sirisena says that what was stated in the agreement he had signed as common candidate is that to abolish the post of presidency through the annulment of the 18th revision. He was expressing his opinions to the media after attending the program in Polonnaruwa yesterday. Former President Maithripala Sirisena said that he is the person who is the most knowledgeable on the 19th Amendment. He added that this is so because the objective of the agreement signed by him was not to shorten the tenure of Maithripala Sirisena to 5 years from 6 years. The intention of the agreement was to abolish the 18th Amendment, which provided unrestricted authority of a kingdom state. But to fully annul the provisions of the 18th Amendment, he has also recalled that he signed the agreement for 48 organizations and added that his lawyer Jampati Vikramaratne went before the Supreme Court not to reduce the Maithripala's tenure to 5 years. He had pointed out that the period of administration of the President according to the Constitution should be reduced to 5 years through legislation passed in Parliament.
National organizer of Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Namal Rajapaksa has presided over the SLPP Bingiri electorate meeting today. State Minister Shanta Bandara said that he wished to state at the moment that all of them would dedicate themselves for the victory of the candidate who receives the support of the SLPP. National organizer of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Namal Rajapaksa said that in today's context, there are no political forces for the victory of people. If there is any political force that brings victory to people, that is Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, founded by former President Mahinda Rajapaksa. Namal Rajapaksa further said that their victory is the victory of people, and he has acknowledged the fact that there could have been shortcomings of their party, but added that they had never harmed the country. He also said that decisions are based on building the country and not building personalities. Parliamentarian Sanjay Vedramana said that Kunagala will support decision to be taken regarding next presidential election. He further said that they will always be with Namal Rajapaksa and support any decision taken by the party. He added that the party must win in the next presidential election.
The Frontline Socialist Party says it was filled a candidate with Jana Aragale Alliance for the presidential election. Propaganda Secretary of the party, Duminda Nagabuwa, expressed his views in this regard at a media briefing held in Colombo yesterday. Propaganda Secretary of the Frontline Socialist Party, Duminda Nagabuwa, said that they will contest the election as the Jana Aragale Alliance. The alliance has been formed as a joint of the active members of the Aragale. Prominent active personalities of this alliance who are accountable to the people will be presented. He added that they will disclose their candidate with the proclamation of the election.
Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena and Minister of Highways and Mass Media Dr. Bandula Gunawardena have presided over the opening of a new building of the Home Agama Divisional Secretariat today. The new Home Agama DST is comprised of 4 stories and built at a cost of 388 million rupees. People will be benefited from the building as Home Agama is an area which is one of the highest populations in the Colombo district. Prime Minister Gunawardena said that amidst the recent difficult period, the pensioners were given the necessary allowances on time. The country has come out from the bad state. The necessary financial stability has been built. Minister Bandara Gunawardena said that during the period of turmoil, conspiracies were waged to create an ungovernable situation by setting fire to 72 houses within 12 hours and attempts to destroy the parliament. However, the present President Ranil Wickremesinghe, who bore the experiences, came forward and accepted the challenge. Accordingly, he came to an agreement with the IMF. He also said that if any government tried to amend the agreements with the World Bank and the Asian Development Bank, such a government would last only for 2 weeks.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe announced plans to ensure returning migrant workers to live with dignity after completing their service abroad. The President made these remarks while addressing the inauguration ceremony of the Vigamane Hasaraka initiative held today at the Satyawadi ground in Kurunegala. This initiative aims to recognize the impact of migrant workers on the Sri Lankan economy. To assess the contribution of migrant workers to Sri Lanka's economy, the Vigamane Hasaraka program has launched across the country, beginning in the northwestern province. Approximately 5,000 migrants from the Kurunegala, Puttalam, and Anuradhapura, Matale and Kegol districts participated in this initiative. During the event, the President also awarded 50,000 rupees each to migrant workers as seed capital to support their self-employment ventures under a welfare benefits program managed by the Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment. This initiative aims to empower the migrant community economically and socially, confirm their rights and gather ideas and proposals for policy development. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that the government has provided support to migrant workers returning after earning foreign exchange to help them start a new chapter in their lives. The support is not a reward of grant but a right to earn through their dedicated service. The President further said that during the country's economic crisis, the contributions of foreign exchange were crucial for their recovery. Without such support, the economy would not have been able to stabilize. He also said that when he took over, the country was in a severe decline. Without the money they sent, they would not have been able to navigate these difficulties. Every dollar they sent was invaluable, and he extended his gratitude to all of them. Manush Nanayakkara, Minister of Labour and Foreign Employment, said that Sri Lanka has been able to stand strong as a country because of its foreign employees. In 2019, foreign workers sent $6.1 billion to Sri Lanka. By 2022, this amount has decreased to $3 billion. However, this year, the dedicated individuals have already sent $12 billion, bolstering the program led by President Ranil Wickremesinghe. Despite attempts by some political leaders to deter them from sending money for political reasons, the national heroes have remained committed. President Wickremesinghe's economic program has successfully encouraged foreign workers to resume sending money to Sri Lanka, providing the necessary foreign exchange. Former Minister Akila Viraj Karyavasam said that the government is implementing programs to support and strengthen the foreign migrant workers. A new initiative has been introduced to help them navigate the economic crisis. He also said that urged them to use their entries to improve their situation. Governor of the Northwestern Province Nazir Ahmad Zainuddin said that due to the severe economic crisis faced by the country, the future had become uncertain. President Wickremesinghe took charge, placing faith in the migrant workers and implementing an economic program. Today, this program has made significant progress. State Minister of Livestock D.B. Herath said that the Ministry of Labour and Foreign Employment has worked diligently to align the foreign workforce in a way that benefits the country. The contributions of these migrant workers is helping the country navigate a severe economic crisis are invaluable. These migrant workers who believe in the President's program have been sending remittances back to Sri Lanka. Jagat Pushpakumar, State Minister of Labour and Foreign Employment, said that the President Wickremesinghe took over the country without any conditions, pledging to free the people from oppression.
State Minister Shehan Senasinghe says that necessary legislation for the economic stabilization of the country will be presented despite the holding of the election. He was addressing the media in Anuradhapura. State Minister Shahan Singh has said that two crucial draft bills will be presented within the next week. One of them is the State Financial Management Draft Bill and the other is the Economic Transformation Draft Bill. The State Minister added that the government would give guarantee to the people through these bills. That is the preparation of the necessary legal framework to prevent the country falling once again into an economic crisis. Singh further said that all necessary activities could not be stopped just because of conducting an election. The election to be conducted at this time is the presidential election, and he added that the parliament has not yet been dissolved.
The National Irrigation Project named from Uma Oya to Palavatha has got underway on the bound of 2 acres lake at the 10th Buttala Palavatha settlement last evening. Portion of the water released from Uma Oya project is to be carried through a canalway and nurture the Akkaradekavawa area. Around 1,000 families in 8 habitats in Buttala are to be benefited by the project. It has also paved the way for the cultivation of 5,000 acres in cane, yielding a harvest of 6,000 metric tons of sugar and 877,500 litres of ethanol. This is a joint project from the Ministries of Irrigation Industries. State Minister Dilu Mamunugama, Sashindra Rajapaksa and Jagat Pushpakumara were present on this occasion. State Minister Sashindra Rajapaksa said that the government and opposition MPs and ministers have supported the project. He added that those who do not contribute always do nothing but scold them.
මේකට මුකුත් කරන්නේ නැහැ. කරන එකට බැන බැන ඉන්නේ. ඒ නිසා මට ඒ හැගේ නම කියන්න බෑ නැත්තම් මං ස්තුති කරනවා. මොකද ස්තුති කරන්න දෙයක් කරලා නැහැනේ. කරන්න අඩු ගානේ සහභාගී වෙලා නැහැ. සහභාගී නොවුනත් කමන්නේ නැහැ. වැඩේ කකුලෙන් ඇදෙන්න නැතුව හිටියානම් ඒත් ඇතිනේ. නෑ ඒක එහෙම කරලා. දැන් අර ඉදිපන්දම් පත්තු කරගෙන
State Minister Dilu Mamunugama said that now strikes are being waged demanding fuel and gas and also high salaries. He added that this is a conducive situation because the strikers themselves have found out that the country has come to a financial favorable situation.
A Japanese delegation headed by Dr. Izumi Hiroto, currently engaged in a tour in Sri Lanka, has met Minister of Transport, Highways and Mass Media Dr. Bandalu Gunawarddena at his ministry. The meeting has focused attention on the resumption of the projects to be implemented through Japanese aid under the Ministry of Transport and Highways. The talks have delved in depth on the introduction of new technology to Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation based on the digitalization process, as well as on the recommencement of the 4th stage of the expressway to Kandy and also on the light train project. The delegation has pointed out that restoration of the projects has become possible due to the successful conclusion of the debt restructuring process. Attention has also been focused on the digitalizing of transport services and upgrading train services via Japanese collaboration. Minister Gunawarddena has thanked the Japanese government for the assistance extended in the debt restructuring program. Foreign news on the other side of this break. And in foreign news tonight, the Israeli military has conducted strikes against Yemen's Red Sea port city of Hodeidah in response to attacks by the Houthi group. The Ministry of Health, which operates in Houthi-controlled areas of Yemen, said 6 people were killed and 87 wounded, many with severe burns as a result of the Israeli strikes. The Israeli air raids were carried out a day after the Houthis claimed responsibility for a drone attack that killed 1 person in Tel Aviv and injured 10 others. This morning, Houthi military spokesman said that the group attacked the Israeli port city of Eilat with a number of ballistic missiles in an operation that achieved its goals successfully.
Welcome back with your sports update. And the Indian team has been successful in securing a 78-run victory in the 5th match of the Asian Cup Women's Cricket Tournament by beating the United Arab Emirates team at the Dambulla International Cricket Stadium. The Indian women's team batting first has scored 201 runs with a loss of 5 wickets in the allotted 20 overs. Harmana Pravdi Kovdur has scored 66 runs and Richa Ghosh hit an unbeaten 64 runs. And the United Arab Emirates team's tied team response were managed to score only 123 runs for the loss of 6 wickets at the end of the allotted 20 overs. Kavisha Ekodoge has scored an unbeaten 40 runs for the United Arab Emirates state team.
It was a chance that
And with that, we conclude tonight news. Do just tomorrow at the very same time. I'm Charita, signing off with Hasani. Stay safe. Good night.
Good night.